What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TB Toycast YouTube channel. And today I am bringing you something a little bit different once again. I don't know if I will be doing this weekly. We will see what happens. But this should be a lot of fun. And I think you guys will enjoy it as well. I know a lot of people do toy hunts on here, but this is not so much a toy hunt as it is what I'm finding on the pegs. And that's what I'm going to call it, what I'm finding on the pegs. And, I visit a ton of different stores, much like probably a lot of you guys do as well. Almost on a weekly basis, and when I have a day off, I'll go hit several different Targets, Walmarts, and even vintage toy shops, and I'm just going to kind of talk about what I'm finding and throw the pictures up here, so hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. And it's mostly going to be stuff that interests me, but every now and then I'm going to throw something random in there, just kind of get everyone's thoughts on it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And I don't know what day I'll be throwing this up, but hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying doing it, so we'll see what happens. The YouTube channel is doing better almost daily, so I do appreciate that. And let's get into it here. First thing I saw was Titano and the Flash. This is an interesting two-pack. This comes on the heels of the King Kong and Batman two-pack, which was also really cool, but it was like, they made the most out of their molds, but why not? A big, gigantic, radioactive-looking ape in the Flash. Who wouldn't want to buy that? I don't know if it's for me. I try to stay away from the super big figures because, space is always an issue, but it definitely looked cool. And then, right there, right above it, I saw just hanging out on the pegs, Nightmaster, a red platinum. Now, he's not a character that I'm super familiar with. I actually had already picked this up. I found it at a GameStop, I don't know, probably a month or two ago. But, yeah, just hanging out on the pegs. I was like, wow, there you go. You never know. And to me, that's what's kind of fun about toy spotting. You just never know what you're going to find. It's always different stuff, and that's what's super fun. Jada Toys, not to be outdone. I saw the Chester Cheetah Cheetos mascot and the Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes mascot figures of there, and I believe they were about $24.99, so not terrible. It's one of those things. I know back in the day, Jada Toys did Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry, but I'm thinking to myself, I don't need cereal mascot figures, right? Like, there's no reason I should buy that. And I know they also have Fred and Barney with Fruity and Cocoa Pebbles, respectively, coming. I don't know. It's one of those things. They're cool. Are they needed? I don't know, but they're definitely fun. And this one I did actually pick up. It was Batman the Animated Series Bane from Wave 3. He's part of... No, it's Wave 4. Yeah, it's Wave 4. He's part of the Bruce Wayne Build-A-Figure wave. They also had Poison Ivy. I did pass on Poison Ivy at the moment. These are $30. Little on the pricier side of things. They're good figures, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, ooh, $30, that's sometimes a hard pill to swallow. But a good figure nonetheless. It was cool to see that. Hardak, the robot version of Batman, and Phantasm are the other figures in the wave, and of course, you get all four of them, you can build Bruce Wayne. And I also picked up Deadshot. You can actually see Poison Ivy in the background there. I'm sorry, I did not pick up Deadshot. I saw Deadshot. I wanted to grab him, but I didn't. And I also saw the Batman Year 2. I forgot to take a picture of it, but I did see it. I'm really wanting the Platinum. I love the lighter, blue and gray colors, very reminiscent of old school Batman. I really want that one. Again, these collector's editions are excellent. $30 price points are a little hard to swallow sometimes. I will probably pick this up, but it is a little bit more on the expensive side of things, so we'll see what happens. But I did see that as well. This was a surprise. I saw for the first time in retail, at least at Target, the Simpsons Deluxe figures. I saw Vampire Burns and I saw Furious Homer. I've actually unboxed both of these on the channel already, along with Radioactive Man, and picked them both up on Amazon because you could not buy them anywhere in retail. I did see them at GameStop after, but never saw them in retail, so definitely interesting. So, if you're looking for those Simpsons figures, there they are. I always like to hit up my my vintage toy shops, because you never know what you're going to find. And to me, I'll see something fun. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And how about this? The Space Jam Michael Jordan Bugs Bunny 2-pack. These are, of course, from Playmates Toys back in the day. I thought these were so cool. It looks like he's got a price of $25. Not horrible. I do know they did a lot of... These were all kind of 2-packs, but they were all kind of packaged like a single pack, which was fun. But I remember getting this set back in the day. I definitely remember having some of the Monstars with the different characters. I know you could get Taz in one of the characters, Daffy Duck and one of the Monstars. Space Jam was huge in the 90s, right? It was one of the biggest movies of that year. So getting these was super fun. And seeing it back on the pegs was cool. Along with a Movie Maniacs Michael Myers. We see a lot of horror-based figures today in 2025. wasn't really the case, and I think McFarlane did awesome with these. He had several movie maniacs that had been traded in. These aren't super expensive these days. If it's something you want to collect, you can see right there he's got it marked for $25, so a very respectable retail price, which I thought was really fun. So definitely cool seeing that as well. And then how about this? A carded retro Swamp Thing. I believe these came out from Kenner back in the day. Swamp Thing was a huge deal. A huge deal. In fact, I didn't really know that he was a DC character because he felt like very much his own thing. This is back in the late 80s, of course. And I just always thought Swamp Thing was super scary. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. But seeing that figure today, or the other day, was really, really fun. And $25 carded. I don't think that's too bad at all. And then I wanted to showcase these, the Marvel Legends from Toy Biz. I've talked about these before on the podcast and probably on here. In fact, I want to do a Tales of the Toy Box on this line because these were absolutely phenomenal. This line got me into collecting things other than wrestling at that time, which was really interesting because I was all into wrestling. But I saw these at a Toys R Us. I love that clamshell packaging. I mean, you literally almost had to have scissors or a knife or something to get to figure out. They came with a very unique stand that you could mount on the wall, which was incredible. It came with a comic book, unbelievable. And it also was kind of my first big introduction into Marvel characters, which was really fun. This is Human Torch, of course. He was part of Wave 2. I remember seeing him, Doctor Doom, The Thing, and Namor the Submariner. And I was like, man, those are cool. And I did what I usually do, where I didn't buy it at the moment, but I was like, I want to come back and get that. Came back, and the only one left was Namor the Submariner, so I picked him up immediately and was just like, I was all in. The articulation was phenomenal. And again, this is, if you're a wrestling figure fan, this is going up against like the Jakks Ruthless Aggression figures, which were kind of dipping in quality, right? I mean, like the figures weren't bad, but missing knee pads, or the back of the trunks wasn't painted, or a guy would come out and his wrist tape would be molded, but there's no paint on it. So a lot of weird fumbles. So getting something like this with unbelievable articulation, top-notch figures, I was all in. And this is a prime example of that. Such a fun line. I also saw these. I went to another Target. I saw these, the Thundercats Super 7 Motu style figures, not to be confused with the ones coming out from Mattel, but Jackalman, Lion-O, and Mumra, the ever living, a little bit plain, but very fun. I know Super 7's not real cheap on price, but I thought these were cool. If it's something you want to pick up, I think they would be fun. I passed on these, but I thought they were fun. This, however, I did not pass on. In fact, this is the actual picture I sent to Travis to let him know, hey, look what I found. And it was Sagat from the Street Fighter II line from Jada Toys. No Blanca. I did find Sagat, though. Massive figure. So much bigger than the other ones. With the picture, it's hard to tell, but this is a massive, massive figure. I was surprised, in fact, how big it was. I was like, wow, that thing is gigantic. So it was really cool to see. And definitely what I was glad to be able to find. So hopefully I can pick up Blanca soon. And then at a Walmart, I didn't see a lot, but I did take a picture of these. Oh my gosh, I've got to get your guys' take on these. I actually moved them all around so I could get all four in one picture. They're the Skibidi Toilet line. It's a Series 1 on there, and it's a deluxe figure. What are these? Does anyone have a clue? We've got TV Woman, we've got Dark Speaker Man, we got Plunger Man, we got Cameraman. They have weird heads. The figures themselves don't look bad. But I'm just looking at these and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what these are. Again, much like most of you guys, I'm 39 years old. Maybe this is just so much into the young generation, I just have no idea. Maybe I need to ask my nephew, hey, what is this stuff? And see if he knows. Because Travis, I believe, described it as brain rot on the podcast the other day. I have no idea. Will we see a wave 2? Hard to say. These don't seem to be moving too well. They are everywhere at Walmart or Target. It's one of those things where I see this and I'm like, okay, where's the Monday Night Wars? Where's the new Legends line? Where's the new DC Multiverse? Where are the new Marvel Legends? Plenty of this stuff. It is weird. So I don't know. I don't really know what to think of it other than it is definitely different. But let me know what you guys think, and hopefully you guys enjoy the What's on the Pegs episode. This is going to be episode 1, of course. I'm going to try to update this weekly. I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you do, we'll keep doing it. So, once again, my goodness. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel, and we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shop.